Our progress report says we are at stage 4, paragraph page 350. Okay, and our last headword was Mary newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready? Okay, here we go. First question. When someone says see you, do they mean hello or goodbye? When someone says see you, do they mean hello or goodbye? When someone says see you, they mean goodbye. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Okay, I have to go now. See you. Okay, next. What what's the past of can? What's the past of can? The past of can is could. Could you walk when you were 4 years old? Could you walk when you were 4 years old? Yes, I could walk when I was 4 years old. Could you understand any English words 6 years ago? Could you understand any English words 6 years ago? No, I couldn't understand any English words 6 years ago. Could you write your name when you were a little baby? Could you write your name when you were a little baby? No, I couldn't write my name when I was a little baby. Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're pushing the table. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're pulling the table. What's the past of can? What's the past of can? The past of can is could. Do we push the door to go out of this classroom? Do we push the door to go out of this classroom? Yes or no? No, we don't push the door to go out of this classroom. We pull it. Is the table too heavy for you to pull across the floor? Is the table too heavy for you to pull across the floor? Yes, that table's too heavy for me to pull across the floor. What's a plan? What's a plan? A plan is an idea about what to do in the future. Who makes most of the plans in your family? Your mother or your father? Who makes most of the plans in your family? Your mother or your father? My father makes most of the plans in my family. Okay, where do you come from? Where do you come from? I come from Japan. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? You're talking to me. Where am I taking the book from? Where am I taking the book from? You're taking the book from the table. What am I putting the pen under? What am I putting the pen under? You're putting the pen under the book. What do pirates travel on? What do pirates travel on? Pirates travel on ships. What can we measure things with? What can we measure things with? We can measure things with a ruler. Very good. Do you always remember your dreams when you wake up in the morning? Do you always remember your dreams when you wake up in the morning? No, I don't always remember my dreams when I wake up in the morning. I sometimes remember them and sometimes I forget them. Do you ever dream that you can fly? Do you ever dream that you can fly? Yes or no? Yes, I sometimes dream that I can fly. What kind of things do farmers grow on their farms? What kind of things do farmers grow on their farms? Farmers grow things like vegetables and fruit on their farms. Do you think you're growing slowly or fast? Do you think you're growing slowly or fast? I think I'm growing fast. When you grow up, what job do you want to do? When you grow up, what job do you want to do? When I grow up, I want to be a doctor. What's another word for adult? What's another word for adult? Another word for adult is grown up. Are kids generally stronger than grown ups? Are kids generally stronger than grown ups? No, kids aren't generally stronger than grown ups. They're generally weaker than grown ups. Very good. Okay, next. What's the past tense of the verb sell? What's the past tense of the verb sell? The past tense of the verb sell is sold. Finish this sentence, please. Last month, my parents sold. Last month, my parents sold. Last month, my parents sold their old car. 2 weeks ago, I found. 2 weeks ago, I found. 2 weeks ago, I found some money on the pavement. When my dad met my teacher yesterday, he shook. When my dad met my teacher yesterday, he shook. When my dad met my teacher yesterday, he shook hands with him. This morning I forgot. This morning I forgot. This morning I forgot to brush my hair. Did you hear me say good afternoon to you at the beginning of the lesson? Did you hear me say good afternoon to you at the beginning of the lesson? Yes, I heard you say good afternoon to me at the beginning of the lesson. Did you feel tired when you went to bed last night? Did you feel tired when you went to bed last night? Yes, I felt tired when I went to bed last night. Did your lunch smell horrible yesterday? Did your lunch smell horrible yesterday? No, my lunch didn't smell horrible yesterday. It smelled good. What was the first thing you saw when you woke up this morning? What was the first thing you saw when you woke up this morning? The first thing I saw when I woke up this morning was the ceiling. Did Charlie and Dan sing happy birthday to you at the party yesterday? Did Charlie and Dan sing happy birthday to you at the party yesterday? Yes, Charlie and Dan sang happy birthday to you at the party yesterday. When did you begin studying English? When did you begin studying English? I began studying English months ago. And what was the first English word you learned? And what was the first English word you learned? Hello was the first English word I learned. What did you dream last night? What did you dream last night? I dreamt about last night. Did the sun shine last summer? Did the sun shine last summer? Yes, the sun shone last summer. Did anybody send you an email last week? Did anybody send you an email last week? Yes or no? Yes, somebody sent me an email last week. Did you often fall over when you were a little baby? Did you often fall over when you were a little baby? Yes, I often fall over when I was a little baby. What did you bring with me to the lesson today? What did I bring with me to the lesson today? You brought your books with you to the lesson today. Who was with you when you left home this morning? Who was with you when you left home this morning? I was with my mom when I left home this morning. Did you understand the last question I asked? Did you understand the last question I asked? Yes, I understood the last question you asked. What message do we generally write inside a Christmas card? What message do we generally write inside a Christmas card? We generally write the message Merry Christmas inside a Christmas card. Are people merry when they're on holiday? Are people merry when they're on holiday? Yes, people are merry when they're on holiday. Very good. So that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word. Okay, very good. So let's start. Okay, what's like? Okay, very good. So listen. If I ask you what's the weather like, I'm asking you to tell me about the weather. You can say it's a sunny and warm. It's sunny and warm. Or it's cold and windy. When someone asks you what's your brother like, they want you they want to know about your brother. You can answer he is big and strong or he is very naughty. So let's practice. What's your house like? What's your house like? My house is old. It's got 3 bedrooms and a big garden, etc. What was the weather like yesterday? What was the weather like yesterday? Yesterday, it was hot and sunny all morning, but it rained a little in the afternoon, etc. Okay, next repeat skate, roller skate, ice skate, skateboard. Okay, listen. People often fall over when they're learning to skate. I think a pair of roller skate is faster than a skateboard. Okay, let's practice. Do you have any skates? Do you have any skates? Yes, I have some skates. What kind of skates have you got? What kind of skates have you got? I've got an ice skate. Do people often fall over when they're learning to skate? Do people often fall over when they're learning to skate? Yes, people often fall over when they're learning to skate. Which do you think is faster, a pair of roller skate or a skateboard? Which do you think is faster, a pair of roller skate or a skateboard? I think a pair of roller skate is faster than a skateboard. Okay, that should be quite okay. Listen, I speak English quite well. I go to visit my grandparents quite often. Let's practice. Do you speak English quite well? Do you speak English quite well? Yes, I speak English quite well. Quite well. Do you go to visit your grandparents quite often? Do you go to visit your grandparents quite often? Yes, I go to visit my grandparents quite often. Do you think learning English is quite easy, quite difficult, or very difficult? Do you think learning English is quite easy, quite difficult, or very difficult? I think learning English is quite easy. Very good. Okay, next repeat. Supper. Okay, listen. By supper, we mean the last meal of the day. It can be dinner or something that we eat between dinner and bedtime if we get hungry. Let's practice. If we eat a big dinner and then a big supper every day, what will happen? If I eat a big dinner and then a big supper every day, what will happen? If you eat a big dinner and then a big supper every day, you'll get fat. Okay, next repeat. Wife, wives. Okay, listen. The plural of wife is wife. Okay, let's practice. What's the plural of wife? What's the plural of wife? The plural of wife is wives. Very good. Okay. Do husbands help their wives enough in the house? Do husbands help their wives enough in the house? Yes, I think husbands help their wives enough in the house. Very good. Okay, next repeat. Anywhere, somewhere, nowhere. Very good. Okay, listen. There is a bin somewhere in this room. There isn't a bear anywhere in this building. If there's nowhere to sit on a bus, we have to stand. Okay, so let's practice. Is there a bin anywhere in this room? Is there a bin anywhere in this room? Yes, there's a bin somewhere in this room. Where? Where? Behind the door. Where is there a bear anywhere in this building? Is there a bear anywhere in this building? No, there isn't a bear anywhere in this building. If there's nowhere to sit on a bus, what do we have to do? If there's nowhere to sit on a bus, what do we have to do? If there's nowhere to sit on a bus, we have to stand. Where in the world can young children drive a car? Where in the world can young children drive a car? There's nowhere in the world where young children can drive a car. Okay, next repeat. Which, who, that, that. Very good. Okay, listen. We have two sentences here. Mr. Best bought a car and the car cost lots of money. Instead of two sentences, we can make one sentence. Mr. Best bought a car which cost lots of money. In this sentence, the word which means the car. Now look at this sentence. I have a dog which can run very quickly. In this sentence, the word which means the dog. We can use which for things like cars. We can also use which for animals like dogs. Let's practice. Are you wearing anything which is made of silver gold? Are you wearing anything which is made of gold? No, I'm not wearing anything which is made of gold. Name me some animals which have long tails. Name me some animals which have long tails, please. Kangaroos and giraffes are animals which have long tails. Very good. Okay, next. We use which for things and animals, and we use who for people. Okay, so let's practice. In your family, is there a man who has a long beard? In your family, is there a man who has a long beard? No. In my family, there isn't a man who has long beard. What's a farmer? What's a farmer? A farmer is a person who lives and works on a farm. Very good. Again, next listen. Sometimes we can use that instead of which. For example, we can say Mr. Best bought a car that costs lots of money. I have a dog that can run very quickly. And Max is a boy that laughs all the time. Okay, let's practice. Is a pet an animal that lives with us at home? Is a pet an animal that lives with us at home? Yes, a pet is an animal that lives with us at home. What's a nurse? What's a nurse? A nurse is a person that looks after us in a hospital. Okay, very good. Now let's move on to reading. Okay, reading is at stage 3, paragraph page 273. So that's stage 4 already. Stage 4, 273. And the last headword was ugly. It's 273. Let me check.